Podcast Daddy is not with us this week, as you can maybe see. So we're going to have a bit of fun in our episodes. Keep watching to find out.
So I saw this article and I was like, oh my
Sorry,
God.
sorry, John. Sorry. Can I just say,
Yeah.
the previous episode where I was like waving my hands in the air, going, "Oh my god, and I had to restart my computer and check my
Yeah.
stuff. I wanted
Such
to
a
be on the
problem.
record
What a
that
problem you
was not
had.
my fault.
That's
What
insane. That's such a
and
big
who
problem you had.
and what and where was that
Yeah,
problem?
that's wild. I
You
don't know.
know,
Anyway, we're going to talk about the mother of all breaches. It was not my fault at all. 26 billion records. What we know so far
yeah,
by
all right.
Vilius Petkauskas.
It doesn't
Butchered
matter
that
who
one.
it's from. There's a million articles about this.
Yeah, there
It's
really
the
is. So
is yeah. It's one of
I
those
was, yeah,
meta breaches where they like
exactly.
compile
Yes.
stuff from other breaches and they put it all
So
in
it's
one
kind
big
of
thing.
it's a non-story in that this is exactly what Peter just said. It's a compilation of previous breaches, cataloged, indexed, searchable in a database format, because this is what attackers use and this is what legitimate companies use to show you if your data has been compromised. So, like if we take Troy Hunt's Have I Been Pwned, have I been pwned.com, you can go and check if you are part of any breaches using your email. You can also type in your password and they'll use various hashing mechanisms to compare against other hashes of passwords that they have stored. Have I Been Pwned specifically does not store passwords, but there are other services out there that do store passwords in clear text for you to search through and see if your passwords are part of a leak.
Yep.
However, it is very important that you do not type in your password into random text boxes to see if, like, oh my god, has my password like, no, just
Hunter 2.
instead, Hunter 2, instead use a password manager like a normal person and generate your passwords randomly,
Yep.
random characters. Yeah, okay, back to the supermassive turbo
No,
huge
that's
12
it.
terabytes.
I think you've basically covered the whole thing, right?
Oh, did I?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a compilation of other breaches put
Yeah,
together. LinkedIn, Twilio, all sorts of companies.
yeah,
100% of these, by the way, I think. Oh, wait, hang on. Am I thinking about a different breach? But most of these are already in the Have I Been Pwned database.
of course, I would say all of them
Yeah.
probably.
So if you're not familiar with the Have I Been Pwned database, it's a service which John was talking about earlier, where you can. Guy Troy Hunt, he collects breaches from all sorts of places, and you can sort of check if your email has been in any of those breaches, and he sends you an alert that if you got that before.
Yeah.
And go on.
Oh, I was going to say that there's even a step above that you can use your company's domain to verify
Yeah.
and then get notified anytime Have I Been Pwned has anyone in your domain. So any email part of your domain be part of a new breach, then they'll notify the security contact or IT contact.
This episode sponsored by
I was
HaveIBeenPwned.com.
just
Please
thinking that too.
click the
I was like, we're
subscribe
fucking
link
talking
below.
about this like
I
we are not.
know.
We are not
We're not
sponsored
sponsored.
by them.
We have no sponsors.
Yeah,
Please
no.
do
If you want to
sponsor
be
us if you're out
sponsored,
there.
please reach out. Join our Discord.
No.
Subscribe. Comment. Tell us
Yeah.
why we should sponsor. We should have you as a sponsor.
So
So
it's kind of great.
yeah,
Let me ask you, right? So
sure.
this like big breach, it's not a breach in itself, but like it's a compilation of other breaches. And my first response, I go through two phases. I go through this kind of like first thing of like, oh god, yeah, it's just a collection of other ones. Oh, we've all got access to that data anyway. But then I'm like, oh no, that's probably really useful to lots of people. So people who are doing, I don't know, private investigators or the government or anyone who's just wants a central location to kind of like look up someone's email and they can find out where they're registered. I got a message from someone or other notifying me about that my data had been breached in a bunch of different databases, and like 50% of them I've never heard of. They were like .fi something or
Right.
other, and I think it was all to do with the data that has been sold to other companies that
Yep.
had like. So this sort of 26 billion record database that someone's put together, it's got a real value. Like it's got
Oh,
like
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
100%. And it's, I mean, using something like this, you can basically gain details of on anyone, right? With their name or email, depending on how you index and catalog this database, like you can look up anybody, right? Anyone with an online footprint is probably going to be touched by this database
have you
in
looked
one
up
way
for
or another.
yourself?
Oh yeah, all the time, of course. And because I mean, I'm generally very safe. Like I have cycled through God knows how many emails. I'm not very account
13, just to count. I've been keeping track. So yeah,
I'm
13.
not very account like dead like what's the word I'm looking for?
If anybody wants details of exactly which emails that John has cycled through, please do subscribe and send me a message. I will be happy to sell
Wow.
them to
Oh
you.
my cell.
Yep.
Jesus. Real moneymaker.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Put the
of
money
course
aside
I
for you.
keep track, and of course I signed up for Have I Been Pwned. Like it's very important because it's good to know, right? Even if you're using a password manager to generate a random long string of characters for unique for each service, it's still important for you to know that you've been impacted, because you
Yeah.
might get something out of it,
Well,
you know, a
because when
year
you
of free
register
credit
for a
reporting.
site, sorry, John.
Go on, I'm free. I'm done.
A year of free
I'm
credit
free.
reporting, yeah,
Free.
yeah. That's always the fucking bonus that they give you, right? I'm sorry, your account has been compromised and your identity has been sold to Russian hackers, but we'll give you 3 months of free ID protection. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Jesus. No, like the thing is, even if you do all the right things on your side, like you use a password manager, you have crazy 16 character passwords and it's all randomly generated and you don't use the same thing anywhere else, even if you do everything best practice, the problem is that on the provider side, if they have bad security, then that means that your PII, your information will be compromised. So if you put in a randomly generated password and it's used on their side, that means that somebody can compromise your identity for that service.
Yeah.
And that means that for that service they can impersonate you. So it could be something like let's say PayPal, right? PayPal fucked up their password storage requirements. They for some reason made it, I don't know, able for hackers to look up your password. That means that even if you didn't use that password anywhere else, you can become like appear as someone who's authenticated on PayPal elsewhere on the internet, and it's a sort of way of proving who you are,
Yeah.
and it's I don't know, man. It's a one step in the chain of taking your money, basically, which
Or your
yeah,
identity, right? Like, and those are
yeah,
very important things. Another reason I think it's important to be notified is because breaches generally aren't only breaches of passwords. Sometimes
yeah.
it can be social security numbers or personal numbers if you're in Europe. It can be um, address, credit card numbers, a bunch of reasons for you to be aware of these things. So again, go sign up for Have I Been Pwned. Um, they're
The
really good
reason that
guys. Yeah,
I'm getting several pizzas delivered to Mike's address right now while he's away is because we've been able to compromise his
it's
identity.
true. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Mike always says, "Do not hack me," like that.
Mm. Yeah.
Not
Do
today,
hack
Mike.
him. Do hack him. Do hack Mike Sutton of 23